Good evening and welcome to the Defense Chronicles. This is Leslie Bocobo. Tonight we have Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Good evening, Mr. Senator.
Good evening, Leslie.
My first question is, was AMLA violated, Mr. Senator?
Well, the exact events that led to this questionable attachment of the prosecution to the request for subpoena has not yet actually been determined, has not yet been verified. And that's why we are at this point now that we may even be going to question the AMLA specialist in the BSP who went and inspected the PS Bank as to what exactly went on. But the appearance of this document, this photocopy or this purported photocopy of a signature card,
Yes.
It really has raised a great many questions. Some of which are the method by which it was acquired.
Yes.
And if there were alterations made to it, what alterations made, and who did it? Then down the road, for the court naman, how does this affect the admissibility of the evidence that was gained, or the testimony and the evidence that was presented in court, that was gained from the subpoena,
Yes.
which was based on a spurious document, if it turns out that's what it was.
Yes.
Kahit marami pang question, marami pa tayong kailangan tanong, marami pang kailangan hanapan ng sagot.
Okay. Very well said, Mr. Senator. Another question is Annex A a fake?
Well, that's something that we still have, have to determine. Ano?
Yes.
But we have seen already the originals, and we are waiting now for the analysis of PS Bank, because the PS Bank president said that as far as they're concerned, there are up to 42 material differences between their original and the Annex A. So,
That's right.
ang hiningi namin kanina ay ipaliwanag niya, o kung sino man yung sumulat ng kanilang analysis,
Yes.
ay magpaliwanag, ipaliwanag sa amin kung bakit sa kanyang palagay ay may mga kaibahan, the handwriting and the imprinting, etc., etc. So, again, that determination has to be made. There are immediately differences, but whether they are material or not is again something that we'll have to determine. Kasi kung isang tuldok lang naman ang kaibahan, hindi naman siguro
Okay.
material yun, ano?
Yeah.
So kung baka naman masamang kopya lang, o baka may nadumihan lang, so
Yes.
hindi natin masasabi. But that's why we have spent close to a week or about a week on this issue of this leakage of this document.
That's right.
Yung binitawan ba ng bangko,
Yes.
o ninakaw ba sa bangko, sino ngayon, kung ganun ang original, sino ngayon nagbago, all of those questions still remain up in the air. And
That's right.
that's why I think we can see the Senate President is assiduously pursuing
That's right.
that line of questioning.
Yes.
Because it is important. Because again, down the road, the question of admissibility of evidence based on that request of subpoena containing a questionable attachment is going to come into question. Kaya kailangan talagang malaman ano ba talaga ang nangyari, and if kung may problema, if there was wrongdoing, if there was a fakery, who did it, and perhaps even why. But again, this is the facts. Not all the facts are in yet.
Yes.
So it's hard to make a determination.
Okay. Mr. Senator, another question here is, are there any other exceptions where the AMLC may investigate and inquire into a bank account without any court order whatsoever?
Well, it has to have there has to be a predicate crime. There has to
Yes.
be in the AMLA law, because and then a court order is based on that. Ang lumalabas is that it was just an ordinary anong tawag dito, inspection that the BSP regularly makes. So then the question arises, how was it that there is an AMLA specialist involved? And we will ask them, I'm sure we will ask them that. So again, the only thing that is clear is that this is very unclear. that
Yeah.
we really have to pick apart the different parts, the different stories, the different testimony, and establish the timeline. Who is the little lady?
Yes.
Who put the envelope in Congressman Banal's gate?
Yes.
All of these things, and try to establish exactly what happened. Right now, the difficulty here is that if we were in a regular court of law, the rules are very, 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 very clear as to what's admissible, what is not, what is. But this is an impeachment court. It's really a very difficult creature because there is the element of the politics that goes on outside the court.
Right.
And there is a recognition also, for example, that if especially in the minds of a senator, but not only the senator, but all of the people watching, once that the evidence has been shown in court, whether or not it's admissible, sa taong bayan, nasa isip na nila
Yes.
yun, kasama na yun doon sa kanilang paghuhusga doon sa kaso na ito. Siguro sa senador, maybe we try to exercise more judgment. But again, we are human beings at the heart of it, and of course, you cannot, as the expression goes, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you cannot put it back.
Bring it back, yes.
So there's an element of that. We try our best to put the toothpaste back in the tube, but I don't think it is entirely humanly possible to just completely erase. So kahit papano, that has come into play, and that is why the strict rules of court cannot apply, because we have all of these other elements that come into it. I mean, we are talking about the political situation, even this what is going on outside of court, if this is going to cause a bank run, if the capital flight, all of these issues are part of what we are doing. And we cannot isolate what we are doing solely as to what goes on in court, because we have a responsibility to the country to make sure that what we do does not cause damage to our economy, to our people, to the country in any way. So it is a very the issues and the arguments on each issue, both sides, can get very complicated. And I'm not even talking about the legal ones.
Yes.
I'm talking about terms of policy, terms of theory, ethicality. Those things are very complicated in this proceeding.
On that note, Mr. Senator, and I'd like to ask you, do you think that political vendetta, an act being warned against AMLA now, has come into play? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's very clear that this was initiated by the president.
Yes.
And it is a purely political act on his part. It is something that he already declared during the campaign, and he has pursued it since he became president. So definitely, I don't know if it's vendetta, but it is certainly it has political motivation. Now, whether or not it is legally justified, that's what we in the impeachment court, are meant to decide, are supposed to decide.
And Mr. Senator, a few days before the EDSA revolution, what are your thoughts once again? Especially, we hear now the chief executive hinting that people can go back to the streets and protest once again, fearing that the impeachment hearings are now not fair in the sense that the prosecution seemed to be bungling on its evidences and its presentations of facts, etc. What are your thoughts from my last question?
Well, whatever it is that the prosecution is doing, they have the president clearly and obviously and overtly on their side. So I think if there is a lack of fairness, it would probably be in the favor of the prosecution, because to have a president publicly trying and arguing the case for the prosecution certainly tips the balance in their favor, not the other way.
Okay. Mr. Senator, I thank you once again for your time. Thank you for joining us for the Defense Chronicles. This is Leslie Bocol.